I do worry, and I think many people much closer to this work are similarly worried that we're in a situation where the incentives are aligned so as to produce a catastrophic outcome if we make sufficiently quick progress, right? I mean, we can't birth a digital God that is more intelligent and more competent than we are, that is unaligned with our interests, and then we have to find ourselves in the position of negotiating with that thing to become more aligned with our interests, right? I mean, the people who doubt that there's any real danger here, in my view, are people who are not taking the time to imagine what it will be like to have a system that really is general in its intelligence and superhuman in its intelligence. The potential problem is that in the space of all possible minds, all possible superhuman minds, certainly most are not perfectly aligned with human well-being, just as our minds are not perfectly aligned with the well-being of lesser creatures that we barely take notice of, right? And so like, and again, this is not the cartoon version of Terminator is not what you need to imagine here. It's not that a super intelligent AI would spontaneously become malevolent and want to kill us. It could just, again, not be aligned in such a way that it could have goals that were unforeseeable by us, because that's what real intelligence is. I mean, certainly real superhuman intelligence is the kind of thing we can't foresee how it's going to evolve and change, and what kind of instrumental goals it might develop. In the same way that all these species that we destroy casually have no idea what we're doing and what we're up to and why we're doing it, and we can even seem to be their friends for the longest time, but then suddenly do something that's antithetical to their interests. I mean, the example I would, this is kind of a weird cartoon, but it sort of gets at the nature of the problem. You could imagine if dogs invented us, right? You have a species of dogs, they magically somehow give rise to us as their protector species. We're their super intelligent AIs. And for 10,000 years, it really works out pretty well, right? I mean, we spent a lot of our resources taking care of our dogs. And we mistreat some dogs, obviously in experiments and elsewhere, but leave that aside. For the most part, for most dogs, most of the time, human beings are great. We procure them food, we wash them, we walk them, we just, we love them as nearly as much as our own children. And yet they have no idea what we're really up to and what we care about and what we're paying attention to most of the time. You're staring at
Right.
your computer, your dog has no idea what you're doing. And yet you go take it for a walk, and it seems to work out great. Now, if something happened, if we have a xenovirus that's jumping from dogs to humans and is 90% lethal. And so now we're suddenly in a situation where we recognize that our pets are going to kill our kids, right? Because, through no fault of their own. And the only solution, the only real effective solution, and we agree about it, is that we just have to euthanize our dogs, right? Like we have to start over. It's an emergency. This has to all happen on a Thursday. Now, obviously, there'll be some holdouts, but what's really going to happen is suddenly, from the dog's point of view, all of these human beings that have loved them with all of their for thousands of years are just going to wake up one morning and start killing them right now, for reasons they can't possibly understand, could never be made to understand, right? So, it's a cartoon example, but what it gets at is the consequence of much, much greater intelligence is that you can have priorities. Suddenly, you can have priorities that weren't there the day before, that the lesser species can't possibly know about, right? The logic will be by definition inscrutable. And yes, some people will argue that our machines could never, there's no possible super intelligence that could get that far away from us, because
Right.
we're some kind of universal Turing machine that really can, in the limit, understand everything. I happen to, somebody like David Deutsch, the physicist at Oxford, is a champion of that kind of view. I'm skeptical of that, largely just for practical reasons. Like, you'd have to imagine us merging with the machines to some considerable degree to be able to keep up with them in that sense. And whether that's going to happen or not, you have to imagine getting this stuff literally stuck into your head as a cyborg technology. I'm not especially boosterish on that at the moment, but the um, the general picture is one of building something more competent, more powerful than we are, that it ultimately can improve itself, right? And that's a crucial step that we make at our peril, I think. Um, and yeah, again, then you're in a relationship, and then any negotiation begins to look like a chess game you can't win, right? It's like and to just the idea that we're going to constrain this technology once it is again fundamentally general and more powerful than we are, um, it's somewhat analogous to saying, okay, we'll play chess harder, we'll beat it with chess, we'll just if it really matters, we're just going to play our best chess and we're just going to beat this thing, right? There is no way of playing chess hard enough at this point to beat the best chess engine.
Right.
There just isn't.